Unsavory soil management. Many supporters of animal farming question the significance of land degradation and greenhouse gas pollution from livestock grazing. They often cite Unsavory's claim that livestock damaging effects in soil and the climate can be controlled through holistic management and planned grazing. Savory's process purportedly allows domesticated herds to act as a proxy for former herds and predators in trampling dry grass and leaving dung, urine, and litter or mulch. This supposedly enables the soil to absorb and hold rain, to store carbon, and to break down methane. Contrary to the scientific literature, Savory's popular theory to reverse desertification and return the atmosphere to pre-industrial levels requires a massive enlargement in livestock production. Be that as it may, agricultural and environmental science suggests Savory's claim is simply not reasonable. For instance, the massive ongoing additions of carbon into the atmosphere from human activity far exceeds the carbon storage capacity of global grasslands. Savory's ultra-high stock density, or UHSD methods, have garnered little support from agricultural science, and there are many researchers critical of his unscientific methods. One accuses him of piecing together false assumptions to produce ineffective but popular recommendations on climate mitigation. Another scholar points to Savory's numerous inconsistencies and varying methods. A review of experiments from 13 North American sites and additional data from Africa revealed there is little evidence for any of the environmental benefits which Savory claimed for his methods. Other researchers point out that intensive cell grazing is only viable where water points are close and labor is cheap. Temporary or permanent fencing is labor intensive, and moving herds daily requires more labor than most livestock operations can afford. Nonetheless, the livestock industry and popular trade magazines are touting the miracle of ultra-high stock density, UHSD grazing for small-scale farmers. Farming at amounts exceeding 1 million pounds of live animal per acre is far beyond the capacity of the family farm. At this high level of stock density, cattle have to be moved multiple times per hour per grazing period. There is no known magical stock density value that expedites the desired outcomes, but the greater the stock density, the bigger the herd impact. Farmers need to have capable pen and corral space, sufficient drinking water and recharge capabilities, effective fencing with quality energizer to carry electricity to the extremities of the property, plenty of temporary electric fence supplies, and suitable equipment to deploy them all. Due to herd impact, recovery periods are usually longer, thus lengthening grazing cycles, especially in areas impacted during wet periods. Intrinsically, UHSD requires massive amount of lands and labor and cannot be accomplished sustainably or by family farms. Emma Archer's review of 14 years of satellite imaging data in South Africa ascertained that Savory's intensive grazing practices cause lower levels of vegetation than traditional approaches when rainfall is added. Rather than the desertification outcome of UHSD, there is massive potential for reforestation in Africa if livestock is removed and the related savanna burning is stopped. Even though Savory's methods have been repeatedly debunked for many decades, it is popularly promoted by the food animal industry, environmentalists, and many others to justify destructive carnivory. In reality, UHSD causes severe land degradation, which may have been a major factor in the wars in Darfur and Syria. Far from being a solution, enlarging livestock production is an unmitigated climate and social disaster.